Book lovers, my name is Carrie and this is Spines and Spoilers. I was tagged in Alex Black Reads video for the personal rules for reading tag. So that's what we're here to do today. I haven't watched their full video yet. I didn't want their answers to corrupt what mine might be. But I have the video pulled up on my laptop. The questions are down below it and I'm just going to scroll down and read as I go, so it's off the cuff. It's not all plotted out or anything, so it's not going to be pristine or fancy or well edited or anything, but it will be honest, if nothing else. I am going to add a link to my description for Alex Black Reads channel. You should go follow them immediately and go watch their content because they make really great stuff. They've been going at it for a little while now and I'm really proud of them and excited to see what else they're going to do. Alright, now on to the questions. Number 1, do you strive to read every day? If yes, do you do anything different or special to make time within your day? If no, why not? I try to. I try my best to do so. I don't always do it. I was in a really bad reading slump for like 4 or 5 months this year, so I would say during that time, no. But since then, yeah, I've been trying to read as much as I can. I don't have a designated time, but more often than not, I get some reading done at night after my husband goes to bed because he has an early bedtime. He's a teacher. But yeah, I don't really have a designated time necessarily. I just get as much reading done whenever I can. I went too long without reading and now I'm just like thirsty for it. Okay, hopefully that answered it thoroughly enough. It's been too long since I've done a tag video. On to number 2. Do you always stay within your favorite genres or do you experiment with reading different genres and subgenres? I try to step outside my comfort zone a lot, but I'd say my favorite genres are probably like horror and mystery, thriller. I like some fantasy, but most recently I'm about to start reading a Western. I think it's Western. I'm pretty sure it's called Valley of Shadows, so that should be interesting. And I'm trying so hard to step outside my comfort zone when it comes to romance, because I know that part of it is probably like internalized misogyny or something. I don't know. But yeah, I've just had this block on towards romance and I really want to try and get into it, so wish me luck there. And the results whenever I leave my preferred genres are mixed. Okay, doing great so far, I can tell. Number 3, do you DNF/do not finish? If yes, what was the last book you DNF'd and the reasons why? If your answer is no, then what drives you to finish the book? Okay, so yes, I DNF. I try to do it rarely if I can, but I'm also not going to force myself to read a book that I don't want to read because that is what puts me in reading slumps, and that is how I ended up in the one most recently. So yeah, I definitely DNF. The most recent one I think was The Push. It wasn't a bad book or anything. My brain just like wasn't feeling that particular type of story at that point in time. Number 4, do you like to read challenging books? If yes, what draws you to them? If not, why do you avoid them? Sometimes. Oh, okay, so like right now, I'm sort of reading House of Leaves. I'm not gonna go get it because it's in the other room and my husband's asleep in there at the moment. But yeah. So yes, sometimes, conditionally. But I also kind of try to pad it out with fluff. Like, read something really challenging or dark and then read like a fluffy graphic novel or maybe even a children's book or something like that. I read something so bad recently. It wasn't challenging other than like mentally and emotionally, but I had to sit there and like read the Frog and Toad books back to back. Okay, number 5 is labeled as Greg's question. I don't know who Greg is, but I will answer your question. Do you read books that have been banned by local authorities? Yes. Okay, I guess I should elaborate. Yes, definitely. Enthusiastically. I think that banned books can be some of the most important ones, though. And then there are the ones that are just randomly banned for something silly. But it's always interesting to see why they're banned and if there's any credence at all to why. Number 6 is labeled as Criminali's question. I don't know who you are, Criminali, but thank you. Do you read books by authors whose views you disagree with? Depends on how much and what we're disagreeing on. Like, you're not going to catch me reading any Robert Galbraith novels anytime soon. Disagreements are one thing, but like when it comes to things like bigotry and assault and stuff like that, I don't play games. I don't pull my punches. Like, I will not read their work ever again, and I will tell other people not to read their work ever again. 7 and 8 are from Steve Donahue. Interesting. Number 7, do you clear your mind of preconceptions and biases before you start a new book, or do you go in with axes to grind? I'm bad about grinding axes, I'm not gonna lie. I try not to, but I'm really bad about letting my expectations kind of influence how I feel about a book, or any biases that I have influence how I feel. It's a problem. 8, also from Steve Donahue, do you recommend books if you end up really liking them? And if so, what form does that recommendation take? Yes. Yes, I do. And basically just me repeatedly being like, this is so good. Yes, it's very good. You should read this book because it is amazing. I'm not generally super eloquent, I'll admit, because usually I'm just overwhelmed by how amazing it is. But yeah, definitely. Alright, number 9 is labeled as Bill's question. What was the last book you recommended? Was there a specific reason for that book? Do people come to you regularly for book recommendations? The last book was These Fleeting Shadows, and it's kind of like a haunted house type thing. I don't know how to explain it, but it's sapphic, and it's spoopy, and it's good, and I'm going to recommend it again. It's a great mixture of comedic and atmospheric and creepy, and I just absolutely adore it. It was an instant 5-star. As soon as I finished it, I wanted to go back and read it over again. And as for do people come to me for book recommendations? Sometimes. I only have like 200 subscribers, and I don't get a lot of views, but that's okay. Number 10 is also from Bill. What book have you had the most success in recommending? Probably The Color Purple, and that's more than likely because it's been around for a while, and because I love it so much and have such a long history with it, more than likely. Number 11 is from Micah Cummins, and it is, do you take notes or annotate while you read? If so, what form does it take? Not usually, but if I do, I'll do it on sticky notes. I'm actually bad about not annotating. Like, I want to annotate. I want to be that person because I think it's so aesthetically pleasing and it makes sense. And whenever I remember to annotate, I always appreciate that I did because I have notes to go back to. However, I just don't remember to do that because it means bringing supplies along with me to read, and sometimes it's audiobooks, and I just don't think about it. I'm caught up in the moment with the book, you know. I think it's really cool when people do annotate though, so, you know, keep on doing what you're doing. Number 12 is from James Holder. How many books are in your personal library, and how do you organize your books? Last time I checked, I had 445 books. Since then, I've unhauled about 40, so probably about 405 at this point. I usually organize my books by genre. I'll put up a picture here so you can see. On the left I have fantasy for the most part and like YA, and on the right I have, let me see, I've got horror mostly, like horror, thriller, and then like my macabre like dark reads down below. And then we've got this bookshelf here, which is entirely reference reads, and there are comics on this shelf back here, which you almost never see. 13 is another question from Jim. Do you read books in languages other than your own? I try. I can't do so successfully because I'm not fluent in anything other than English, but I I know more French than anything else other than English. You know, it's like English, French, way down here is like Spanish, go down further, German, Japanese. Yeah, that's the ranking system. Oddly enough, though, I've had 2 books in Spanish and none in French. I need to get some French books, so thank you for this question. Number 14 is from Pickles Reads. I love your name. Please keep doing what you're doing. Do you read one book or multiple books at a time? If multiple, how? I am always reading multiple books. Sometimes I don't even intend to, it just happens. Usually I have a physical book, an audiobook, an ebook, and an ARC. Like right now, I am reading House of Leaves in the physical copy. I'm alternating between the physical copy and the audiobook for it. I'm reading an ARC, but I can't remember the name. Sister Made Monster is the name of the ARC. I actually don't think I'm reading an ebook at the moment, so yeah, only 3. Wow. The last question is to tag 2 people, so I am tagging MJ from MJ's Books and Tatiana from Reading with Tatiana. I would tag Alex, but Alex already tagged me, so there we go. Also, I forgot to mention that the person who originally made this tag, their channel will be linked below. They're called At Reading This Life. You should definitely follow Alex, though. Wonderful human being. MJ and Tatiana, also awesome. Just give everybody a follow and go, like, look at their content. They've got some great stuff. Thank you guys for watching, and to Alex for the tag, and I hope that you guys are staying safe out there and enjoying your fall. If you want to like and share and subscribe, that is up to you, but what is most important is that you love yourself. Alright, bye guys.